Well, I said after the ball game, another day at the office. Just took care of business today, huh?
Well, we did, yeah. I think the second half showed us a lot. You know, we played very well in the second half. But the first half also showed us a lot, too, is that when we don't play, then we're average. And when we play pretty good, we're pretty darn good. And so it's definitely a concern to us, something that we need to address about, you know, halves like the first half. And it just shows if we just focus a little bit more, and if we get to loose balls a little bit more, then we start to roll a little bit. But it definitely is a situation where we got to get better. We got to get better at some of those things. And I don't know if it's the January lulls or whatever the case might be, but the second half, I was really proud of our guys. Kind of came out and took it upon themselves to play better, work harder, and that was really fun to see us make that change.
Some of the things that we talk about, we end up talking about the same things over and over. Say like a player like Mitch Niehaus, we've talked before, but I just like the energy. When you talk about getting the team going, you can look at Mitch Niehaus. He's always got that motor running, doesn't he?
Absolutely. You know, he's probably one of our fastest players on our team. So when your post player is one of your fastest players, he loves to run the floor. He loves to get up and down. And he does. He's a guy, like on scouting reports that people have, he's probably not very high on anyone's scouting report, but you have to account for him running the floor. And then secondly, you have to account for him on the offensive boards. And so he just is a pesky kid that other teams, it's not fun to play against a guy like that, but we're glad that we have it. And the other thing with him is that when he gets those types of things, he's got a huge smile on his face, and he's high-fiving and chest-bumping everybody else, and he gets everyone else's motor going. So you need an energy guy like that. It's really fun to see.
Playing at home on Tuesday against Sauk Center. I think, though, when you want to get an energy level game going, that'll be Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't play hard against a team like Sauk Center, you're not playing hard. And so I would fully expect for us from the opening tip all the way through to play very, very intense. And so if we do that, typically other parts of our game have come along, and so we're going to need that and more against obviously a very good Sauk Center team. Plus, it's always a rivalry game, so it doesn't matter what the records are. It just so happens that both teams this year are pretty good, so it'll probably be added to the intensity level of it.
I do like the Melrose team. When you go through all the categories and just make check marks, you know, when you've got some height, you got shooters. What areas are you saying that you're not good enough at yet?
Well, as we've proved tonight, when we don't focus on the defensive side of the floor, it loses our focus on the offensive side of the floor. So our big problem on the defensive side of the floor is sometimes we just reach, we get slow feet, and we don't pursue the basketball. And then on the offensive side, I think we're so explosive offensively that sometimes we think we have to shoot within 5 seconds because we have before and we have so many good players. Well, what we got to keep working on with these guys is that the first good shot you get might not be the best shot you can get in a possession. It might be a good shot, like a 7 out of 10, but we want to get 9 out of 10s and 10 out of 10 type shots. And so we got to keep working with that. And it's a fine line because we want our guys to be aggressive. We want our guys to be free on the court. We want our guys to be able to not feel like, oh, coach is going to yell at me if I shoot. At the same time, I want to make sure that we're getting the best shots possible. So it's a fine line for us as coaches to be able to deal with that. And the good thing with having an experienced crew is they listen. And they listen and they work. And so and we saw that in the second half. They listened to our halftime adjustments, and they came out and they made plays.
I see this with some teams, too, as a season goes along. You start out playing a lot of guys, and then as the games go on, the bench gets a little shorter. Do you see that happening?
Possibly, yeah. I think, you always want to give guys opportunities to play, and typically the golden number in basketball is usually 8. And that's kind of the typical number, and so that's what most teams settle on is 8. And so that's kind of where we're at a little bit. Sometimes we go 9, sometimes we go more than that. But we're always looking for guys. We're always evaluating every practice, every game. Doesn't matter what the score is. Doesn't matter if we're up by 30, down by 30. It's the last seconds of the game. We're always evaluating. So guys are always pushing each other in practice and the games.
We had talked about Mitch Niehaus and his play, but I guess he's a good example, isn't he? And talk about some other players. This is what the coach wants you to do. This is your role. You know what you're supposed to do. You also know what you're not supposed to do out there.
Yeah, I think of any team that I've had here in my last 10 years, this is the one where the guys really know their roles better than anything else. And it speaks to them because it's something that I haven't said to them or we haven't said to them. They just kind of know, like, Mitchell Niehaus, I know you think you're a point guard, but we don't ever want you shooting a 3 or dribbling.
Yeah.
And he says that he can, and I know that he thinks he can, but he can't. And so he understands that I'm an offensive rebounder. I'm going to shoot layups, and I'm going to play good defense and rebound, and I'm going to kick the ball out if I don't feel comfortable. And everyone knows on our team and everyone else that Isaac and Scotty are going to have the ball in their hands 80% of the time. They're going to shoot most of our shots, and the other guys are fine with that. And a guy like Ryan Elfring understands that he's got to play off the ball. So his his skill is how do I get open off of the ball. Mitch Reller's the same thing. He understands that when we run the offense can be run through Isaac and Scotty, but we need to score on the inside. We can't just shoot threes all of the time. So Mitch Reller is a big part of that as well. And our guys off the bench understand as well that, you know, when they're in there, they have a kind of a specialty role. Seth Knoll is a change of speed type guy. When he comes in, boy, the speed of the game just elevates immediately, and we like that. And he understands that his job is to kind of be a Bugs Bunny out there and just running around, creating havoc and doing some of those things. And our other guys off the bench, Nathan Goebel and Corey Weoff and Tyler Reverman and Ben Klopaki, they know, okay, Tyler and Ben are shooters. They got to come in. They need to shoot. And they need to shoot well. And Nathan Goebel, he needs to come in. He needs to bang and make layups and get rebounds. So it's been really fun to see that, and I think that's why we're scoring so many points on offense is because guys know what the roles are.
Well, then it gets down to just executing. You know what you're supposed to do, and hopefully shoot a good percentage and just keep on going then.
Yeah, and that's our struggle sometimes. We're such an attack mode offensively. We're such in a full court attack mode, attack, that we need to understand that there are times where it's going to take 7-8 passes. And so we're getting better at that. That's definitely an area we need to improve on. That, okay, now we're not in attack mode. We're in swing the ball side to side, side top side, as we say, and get the ball moving laterally, and then that hopefully will help.
Well, because you've got some good games coming up. You got Sox Center on Tuesday. Go to Long Prairie Gray Eagle on Thursday. That's not easy to win up there.
Oh, no.
And you've got BBE down the road, too, so it's going to be a good schedule.
We're going to find out a lot. On February 2nd, when we wake up, we'll know a lot more about our team than we do right now.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Keep it going.
Thank you.
All right, that's Ryan Dusha, the Melrose boys basketball coach. And, again, they won this afternoon over Staples Motley, 70-39 here at St. John's University. So, again, Scotty Stone and Isaac Sawyer lead.